Hey there, what is up, plant community? If you like my videos, go ahead, give me a like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and it helps the channel out, and it helps me teach people more things about plants, and even little experiments I like to do sometimes. So, I did a little bit of an experiment. Now, I usually let my elephant ears when it comes time and it's already summer, we sometimes do tend to go into the low temps here where it's kind of cool. So we'll usually go into sometimes if it we get the normal Indiana weather, that is. We'll get down to sometimes in the 40s, but not too low. We'll stay in the 50s. So right now it's pretty nice out. I think the high might be 60. I want to hold my word to that. Um, Different areas in Indiana can get a little warmer than others. Anyways, so my elephant ears are completely fine. But what I really wanted to try out was the ficus trees. One time I tried them out to 35 degrees. It didn't really work. I mean, it did, but they were leaking sap, and I felt like the tree was hurting at that point, so I brought it back in. So I tried them in the temperatures of, I want to say we got down to 47 to 46 one night. And then one night we dropped down to the low of 48. And I did feel like bringing them back in. So I was like, let's just kind of experiment with them, see how they do. Because, I mean, after all, they have to, in order to survive out here, you have to be able to take kind of cool tips sometimes. So, gonna be looking at them and seeing how they fared. So, we'll go. Okay, sorry about that. Had a guy pass by with a radio, didn't want to get in trouble with copyright and stuff. Anyways, we'll look at this Ficus Burgundy. This one was gifted to me by a friend. So it's not very burgundy, unlike some other ones, like this guy over here. I think sometimes it depends on how much light you give them, or something like that, but here it kind of gets light, then it doesn't. Really out there is where it gets more of the light, but so we have a bit of burn. The burn was like that when I got it, so it's definitely not due to the cold. If we're going to look at the burn, I'm going to have to look at the top new foliage if there's any burn, and some of the older, but not these two, because I did look at it and these two were already affected leaves. So it seems to be doing alright. It pumped through it like it was nothing. There's no damages whatsoever on this one. Still growing. Needs to be watered because it's in a terracotta, which is why I don't like terracottas. You have to water basically every day. But it's doing good. So that's a good thing. This guy over here, he is also doing good. He has more of the burgundy color. He has I want to say it's a spear. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just call it a shoot just to be safe. Kind of coming up there. So it didn't really affect him at all. We do have some damaged leaves. The damaged leaves, though, were there when I got it. When I had it, it had a bit of issues. Oh, that's gnarly. I thought that was a weed. And then I realized, oh, that's an aerial root, meaning it's getting really good moisture. It's starting to get kind of humid enough out here, obviously, for it to start shooting aerial roots, which is good. I love aerial roots. Then we'll go over here to my fiddly fig. It has a bit of burn. I kind of threw it out here. And then I was like, man, there's just too many ficuses in that one area. I would like kind of some different varieties rather than it just being all ficus. Uh, Usually you don't let these guys drop down even into the 50s. He's doing good though. I did kind of chop some leaves off the bottom to thicken up the trunk. Had to put the stick in there and tie him to it because he was just kind of flopping all over the place, and I want a strong structure on him. I don't want him just to be just kind of flopping around everywhere. Of course, this would be his first time outside. He's a fairly new tree. I got him during the winter, so he'll strengthen up with time. White bird of paradise. Croton. My Ficus triangularis seems to be doing good. Might want to trim this branch back. I want this branch right there to be the leader. So, got some things I guess needs to be done. For this guy in particular. But again, he seems to be doing good. And these are mainly trees you don't want to see cool temps, but they are doing just fine with the cool temps. Here we have my Ficus religiosa. He was starting to lose a bit of leaves inside. He has since started producing branches, which I do not like. I might have to correct that in the future. But for right now, he is perfectly fine. I'm going to let him grow. I'm going to let him get nice and tall. I'm going to let him maybe get a few inches over my head. Pinch him. And then that's where I'll let him branch out. You can see right here, his trunk has thickened up. These are another more sensitive tree that you really don't want to see low temps. Really, most of the Ficus family, you don't want them to see low temps. Unless it's like a rock fig or something like that. Then in that case, it's alright. But he was one I was particularly worried about. We do got a little bit of discoloration. This is, of course, because I just said, yeah, I'll have time for you to get adjusted into the sun. So, here you go. Let your fate be whatever it is. So, yeah, he seems to be doing pretty good. Got some new growth right here, which will get bigger and expand more. Weeping fig, starting to produce some new leaves. Some of these leaves are kind of burnt. They're burnt because, again, I did have no room to adjust it, so I just had to throw it out there, and, its fate is whatever it is. Healthy tree, honestly, I wouldn't mind if it did lose some of the indoor leaves, because that's what most of the scorching is. The rest of them that ain't scorched were the original outdoor leaves that did not fall off. So, let's go over to the bonsais now. So, there are a few trees that are a little sensitive that I was worried about. So, we'll go with Pachira aquatica. I was worried about him a bit, but as you can see, the forest is doing completely fine, completely healthy. Got these big old leaves. I've been debating on how big I actually want to grow this forest, or if I just want to do one tree, because these trees produce these big leaves. And it's like, maybe it's better off to be a more medium large bonsai. He seems to be doing good. When I pruned him, I was actually worried about him, because he lost the majority of his original leaves. I'm like, oh no, don't die. But anyways, he did good. He did excellent. The Ficus ginseng pulled through like a champ. The poinsettia, I was a little worried about. He pulled through. Norfolk Islands, they're going to be fine in that type of temp. So will the Fukian tea. But Down here is what I'm really worried about. Here we have my tiger bark ficus. There we have my, which is looking quite sparse. I forgot to water him, so he's still kind of recovering. But that is my ficus little leaf. And then, not sure if you can see it, but right there we have my variegated boy. They all seem to be doing all right. They seem to have took the temps like a champ. So that is really dang birds. Anyways, and we can see here we're even getting new leaves. Some of them are kind of reddening because they're taking more direct sun, which is good, which is what you want, especially for the Fukian, leaves shrink more whenever they're getting more intense direct sun. Anyways, this ain't a care video on bonsai, so don't want to get carried away here. But yeah, they've all seemed to take the cooler temps like a champ. They all did good. Really proud of all these trees. This just shows me that my trees that I grow are particularly stronger trees, which I do put them through a lot of things. Sometimes I'll forget to water them, and they'll go 2 weeks without water, things like that. But otherwise than that, they seem to be doing good. And as you can see, there's results of that too, where the leaves just wasn't getting enough water. But it's outside now. It should get plenty of water. It should be all right. So, yep, just figured I'd show something that I find interesting, which is my ficus trees taking more of the cooler temps. Rock fig, doing all right, doing good. Kind of got exposed a little bit of sun, so some of that yellowing is a bit of damage, but he'll be fine. We got some new growth coming out the mill. This is one I am growing normally. And then my popcorn tree, or popcorn plant as it's known. Rub the stems, rub the leaves. Well, it smells like popcorn. Doing really well, doing good. Proud of it, happy of it. Needs to be watered. They like a lot of water. They really do like a lot of water. Otherwise than that, most of everything out here can take some cooler temps, like Thai plants, the orange bird paradise, white bird of paradise I got, asparagus fern, poor man's bonsai or dandelion, English ivy. All that can take the cooler temps like a champ. But yeah, that's really all I got. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a like, share, and thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you. Have a good day.